Performing live is the ultimate rush. The roar of the crowd, the heat of the spotlight, pure adrenaline. But what happens when the stage becomes your final act? Tonight, we're diving into the eerie and unexpected, counting down 5 of the most disturbing deaths of performers who tragically perished in front of their audience. Buckle up, because these true tales are as haunting as they are unforgettable. It was Good Friday, April 6, 2012, in the quaint town of Itararé, São Paulo, Brazil. The community was abuzz with anticipation for their annual Easter play, The Passion of the Christ, a tradition that turned the somber tale of Jesus' final days into a live spectacle. Among the actors was Thiago Climac, a 27-year-old who took on the daunting role of Judas Iscariot, the infamous disciple who betrayed Jesus and met a grim end. Thiago was no rookie. With 3 years of performing under his belt, he knew the role, the stage, and, most importantly, the safety equipment. A harness, courtesy of the local fire department, was his key to pulling off the dramatic hanging scene without a hitch. Or, so everyone thought. The play began, drawing the audience into the story. Thiago waited in the wings, ready for his pivotal moment. As Judas, his role demanded he enact the traitor's remorseful demise by hanging himself from a tree, a scene rehearsed numerous times with precision. When the moment arrived, Thiago climbed a small ladder, attached to the harness, and prepared for his performance. The crowd was transfixed as he jumped, his figure swaying like a pendulum. It was hauntingly convincing, too convincing, because unbeknownst to the audience, something had gone terribly wrong. The safety vest under his costume had shifted at the worst possible moment. Instead of cushioning his fall, it tightened like a vice around his neck. For 4 agonizing minutes, Thiago struggled to breathe. To the audience and actors, it looked like a masterful portrayal of agony. A few might have even applauded his commitment to realism. It wasn't until fellow actor Janaína Carvalho delivered her scripted lines and Thiago failed to respond that someone sensed the performance had taken a deadly turn. Panic rippled through the cast. Actors rushed to his aid, scrambling for a way to free him. Enter Luis Carlos Rosner, a sandwich vendor who became an unlikely hero, or rather, his knife did. When an actor sprinted to him, pleading for a blade, Luis hesitated for a moment before handing it over. Thiago was quickly cut down and rushed to Santa Casa Hospital, but the damage was already done. Severe oxygen deprivation had caused cerebral anoxia, essentially catastrophic brain damage. Doctors placed Thiago in a medically induced coma, clinging to slim hopes of recovery. For 17 harrowing days, family and friends prayed for a miracle that never came. On April 22, 2012, the life support was turned off, and Thiago Climac was pronounced dead. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the community. What was meant to be a symbolic act of betrayal and redemption had turned into an unimaginable real-life horror. In the wake of Thiago's death, questions swirled. How could this happen? An investigation launched immediately. The harness and rope, both borrowed from the local fire department, were examined at the Instituto de Criminalística in Sorocaba. Lead investigator José Victor Bassetti wrestled with theories. Was the knot improperly tied? Did part of Thiago's costume snag on the equipment, triggering the fatal malfunction? The answers were slow to come, buried under layers of confusion, grief, and bureaucracy. But one thing was clear: a community united in faith had experienced a profound and painful loss. Thiago's death turned a theatrical portrayal of sacrifice into a sobering reminder of life's fragile unpredictability. For those who witnessed the play, that Good Friday became unforgettable, but for all the wrong reasons. It was a warm April evening in 2016 in a small village nestled in West Java, Indonesia. The stage was set, and the crowd gathered to see Irma Bule, a 29-year-old mother of 3 who had carved out a niche in the vibrant yet cutthroat world of dangdut music. Known for her bold performances with live snakes, Irma was more than just a singer. She was an act you wouldn't forget. That night, though, she gave her audience a show that would be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Irma, whose real name was Irma Wati, or Anang to her friends and family, wasn't just any dangdut performer. She had climbed her way to local fame thanks to a gimmick both daring and downright dangerous, dancing with live snakes. Not your average pythons with taped mouths, mind you. Irma often shared the spotlight with creatures that could star in a nature documentary's most terrifying moments. That evening, Irma introduced the star of her act, Ranti, an 18-foot king cobra. To put it mildly, king cobras are the stuff of nightmares. They're the world's longest venomous snakes, capable of delivering a bite so deadly that even a medical drama couldn't dramatize it enough. And Ranti? Ranti wasn't defanged or restrained. Nope, she was the real deal, venom loaded and ready for her close-up. As Irma began her performance, the crowd was in awe. The snake slithered around her shoulders while she sang and danced, her voice soaring over the gasps of the audience. She'd done similar stunts before, often with safer snakes, but Ranti wasn't the usual docile python, and this time the stakes, or rather, the snakes, were higher than ever. Midway through the set, Irma's choreography took a fatal misstep. Her foot landed on Ranti's tail. The cobra, understandably offended, struck back with lightning speed, sinking its fangs into Irma's thigh. The audience gasped as Irma froze, the shock of the bite momentarily halting the music. A handler rushed to her side with an antidote, but Irma waved him off. The show, she decided, had to go on. And go on it did, for 45 excruciating minutes. Despite the venom coursing through her bloodstream, Irma kept singing, her voice defiant against the cobra's neurotoxins, but the poison wasn't about to let her steal the spotlight. As she powered through her set, her body began betraying her. She vomited, convulsed, and stumbled, but still, she refused to leave the stage. By the time Irma collapsed, the crowd had fallen silent. The once vibrant performer lay motionless as her crew scrambled to help her. They rushed her to the nearest hospital, but the venom had already done its grim work. Irma was pronounced dead shortly after arrival, her life cut short in the pursuit of a performance. News of Irma's tragic death spread quickly, leaving fans and locals reeling. Adding a layer of heartbreak, her mother revealed that Irma might not have known Ranti was venomous or untaped that night. In her world, snakes weren't just props, they were also her defense. As it turns out, Irma's slithering co-stars weren't just for show. According to reports, she may have used them as a buffer against overzealous audience members. In the male-dominated world of dangdut, female performers often faced harassment during shows. Snakes, it seemed, were her way of drawing a line, though, tragically, it was a line she herself would cross. Irma Bule's story isn't just one of ambition or danger, it's a haunting reminder of the extreme lengths some performers go to captivate their audience. It's also a sobering look at the risks they face, not just from their acts, but from the world around them. That night in West Java, the music didn't just play on, it struck a chord that echoes with equal parts awe and sorrow. It was a night like any other on July 13, 2024, in the lively beachside town of Salinopolis, Pará, Brazil. Ayres Sasaki, a 35-year-old rock singer with a heart as big as his talent, was headlining a concert at the Solar Hotel. By day, Ayres was an architect, but by night he rocked stages across Pará, building a loyal fan base since 2017 with his electrifying energy and passion. That night, the crowd packed the venue, buzzing with excitement to see their beloved Ayres perform. But midway through the set, disaster struck. A soaking wet fan, how they got drenched nobody really knows, made their way onto the stage, wrapping Ayres in an enthusiastic bear hug. In that split second, a nearby cable short-circuited, sending a fatal shock to Ayres. The crowd froze in horror, the music stopped, the lights dimmed, and chaos erupted. Despite frantic efforts to save him, Ayres tragically passed away, leaving his fans, friends, and family in a state of complete disbelief. Born in Belém, Ayres had worked tirelessly to make his mark in the music world, even opening for São Paulo's hardcore legends, CPM 22, in 2021. Music wasn't just a career for Ayres, it was his soul. He shared this passion with his wife, Mariana, a nurse who had been his biggest supporter. They had been married for just 11 months, their whirlwind romance captured in bittersweet social media posts. In October 2023, Ayres shared a wedding video with the caption, "Eternity awaits us, my love." Those words, once full of hope, now serve as a heartbreaking reminder of their tragically short time together. The local police quickly launched an investigation, working to untangle the mysterious circumstances surrounding the fan and how they managed to get on stage. The Solar Hotel expressed their deep regret, offering support to Ayres' family, but it felt like a small consolation in the face of such a devastating loss. Ayres' death sent shockwaves through Brazil's music scene. Tributes poured in from friends, fans, and fellow performers. Adriano Frus, a close friend, fondly remembered Ayres' tireless dedication, recalling how he once played for 12 hours straight because the fans simply couldn't get enough. Comedian Nato Almeida spoke of his kindness and unforgettable stage presence, while filmmaker Rafael Masso shared memories of their college days, still struggling to believe Ayres was gone. Though Ayres' life was cut tragically short, his impact endures. His music continues to resonate with fans across Brazil, and his unwavering dedication to his craft remains an inspiration. Ayres Sasaki lived for the music, and though his curtain call came too soon, his melody lingers on, echoing through the hearts of those who knew him. The MGM Grand in Las Vegas was buzzing on June 29, 2013. The audience settled in, brimming with anticipation for Ka, one of Cirque du Soleil's most daring productions. Known for its mind-bending stunts and jaw-dropping choreography, this wasn't your typical night out. It was a spectacle. Among the performers that night was Sarah Guyard-Guillot, a seasoned acrobat and aerialist with over 2 decades of experience. Hailing from Paris, Sarah wasn't just a star on stage but a dedicated mentor, sharing her craft with aspiring performers. As the final scene approached, the tension ramped up. Performers readied themselves for a dramatic battle on a vertical stage, a sequence that looked as impossible as it was breathtaking. For Sarah, it was just another night of defying gravity, soaring high above the crowd. But this time, something went terribly wrong. Sarah was lifted into the air, her every movement a testament to skill and trust in the safety gear that had always been her invisible co-star. Suddenly, a horrifying snap cut through the music. The wire rope holding her had broken. Sarah plummeted nearly 100 feet into the stage pit, vanishing from view. At first, the audience thought it was part of the show. After all, Cirque du Soleil is known for its audacity. But when Sarah's screams pierced the air and her fellow performers' faces turned from performance-ready to sheer panic, it became heartbreakingly clear that this wasn't scripted. The curtain fell, and an announcement informed the stunned crowd that the show was over. Refunds were offered, but the night had already etched itself into their memories for all the wrong reasons. Sarah was rushed to the hospital, but at 11:43 p.m. the unthinkable was confirmed. She was gone. The tragedy marked Cirque du Soleil's first on-stage fatality in its 30-year history, shaking the company and the entertainment world to their core. In the days that followed, the Nevada Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, launched an investigation. What had gone so catastrophically wrong? The findings painted a grim picture. A combination of insufficient training and faulty equipment had caused the tragedy. The wire rope had snapped because it scraped against a sharp edge during Sarah's rapid ascent. The performance had become a perfect storm of oversight and danger. OSHA didn't hold back, issuing citations and fines totaling over $100,000 between Cirque du Soleil and the MGM Grand. The revelations were devastating. Inadequate training, flawed safety protocols, and a harrowing reminder of the risks in high-stakes performances. Cirque du Soleil suspended Ka immediately, plunging into a company-wide re-evaluation of its safety measures. On July 16th, the show resumed, this time dedicated to Sarah's memory. Her tragic death became a sobering milestone, spurring the company to prioritize safety in ways they hadn't before. Sarah wasn't just a performer, she was a mother of two, a beloved teacher, and an inspiration to many. At Cirque Fit, the circus fitness program she co-founded, her students mourned her loss deeply. Tributes flooded in, painting a picture of a woman whose passion and kindness had left an indelible mark. Her accident also highlighted the broader dangers of pushing the boundaries in live entertainment. While Cirque du Soleil is renowned for its daring innovation, Sarah's death forced the industry to confront the inherent risks. She wasn't the first casualty. Others had been injured or killed during training sessions or performances in years prior, but her fall underscored the urgent need for vigilance. For Cirque du Soleil, Sarah's passing became a turning point. Safety protocols were overhauled, and lessons learned from her tragedy rippled through the performing arts world. It was a painful reminder that even in the pursuit of brilliance, no one is invincible. Sarah's story is one of talent, dedication, and the ultimate price paid in the name of art. While her death remains a somber chapter in Cirque du Soleil's legacy, it's also a testament to the resilience of a community that refused to let her memory fade. On a chilly January night in 1996, the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City buzzed with excitement. The debut of the Macropulis Case, a tale of eternal life, promised an unforgettable evening. But the audience was about to witness a tragedy so surreal it seemed scripted for the stage. Richard Versale, a 63-year-old tenor with a commanding presence, played Vitek, a minor but pivotal role. Perched 20 feet high on a ladder, he sang the chillingly ironic line, "Too bad you can only live so long." Moments later, he lost his balance and fell to the stage below. At first, the stunned audience clapped, mistaking the fall for part of the show. But as Versale lay motionless, the truth set in. The performance stopped abruptly, and Met General Manager Joseph Volpe evacuated the theater. Versale was rushed to the hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead. Born in Muskegon, Michigan, on December 3, 1932, Versale's path to opera was anything but conventional. Before finding the spotlight, he served in the Navy, worked as a lab technician and chemical salesman, and studied singing on the side. At 40, he decided to fully pursue opera, moving to Chicago to chase his dream. He made his debut at 45 with the Chicago Lyric Opera, earning acclaim for his powerful tenor voice. Over time, he built a reputation for tackling demanding roles like Verdi's Otello and Wagner's Tristan und Isolde. Though his career flourished internationally, performing at prestigious venues from Vienna to Tokyo, recognition in the U.S. came slowly. Offstage, life was no less challenging. Versale endured a painful divorce and the loss of a child in 1991. Despite these struggles, he remained devoted to his craft and family. In 1988, he remarried and settled in North Carolina with his wife Alexis and their young daughter Tess. In 1995, Versale finally gained recognition at home, earning critical praise for his performance in the rise and fall of the city of Mahagani at the Metropolitan Opera. His role in the Macropulis Case marked another milestone in his hard-earned career, but fate had other plans. An autopsy revealed Versale suffered a heart attack mid-performance, causing his fatal fall. A Met spokesperson confirmed the latter was secure, making the incident an act of nature, not negligence. Versale's death sent shockwaves through the opera world. In a rare gesture, the Metropolitan Opera canceled the performance and lowered its curtain in mourning. Tributes poured in, celebrating a life marked by resilience and passion. Though his journey ended abruptly, Richard Versale left behind a legacy of perseverance. From his unconventional beginnings to his rise in the opera world, he inspired others with his tenacity. A devoted family man and volunteer at AIDS hospices, his life was as meaningful as it was bittersweet. And yet, the cruel irony of his final performance lingers. Singing, "Too bad you can only live so long," Versale offered a haunting reminder of life's fragility. Perhaps only opera or fate could craft such a poignant exit.